is Danelle Lynn from Wheeled Wanderlust. I'm sitting in beautiful Cambria, California at the Horizons Unlimited event, and with us today we have Ted Simon on his 40th anniversary commemorative of his journey, and also a new book from Ted that we're going to talk about, as well as Jupiter's Travel, the Ted Simon Foundation. Good morning, Ted.
Hello, good morning, and it is a lovely day, and it's nice to see you here.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So I wanted to talk a little bit about your brand new book that you just released that you have here with us.
Yes, it's an interesting book because it's brand new and yet it's actually 40 years old. It's for the first time since I made that journey, which everybody else seems to remember better than I do, that the pictures that I took have actually got into print. And the effect of doing this, because it was a labor of love and it took a long time to work with Erdem, the designer, on it, the effect of it was really to bring the whole journey back into life again for me in a way that I haven't experienced for decades. And I'm astonished to see how beautiful the book is and how well these pictures have stood up, and what an extraordinary window it is into a forgotten time. I mean, it really is from, how much faster time seems to be passing these days than it ever did before, and now this is like looking back into another century.
That's lovely. And now a lot of these were your personal photographs that you just kept. A lot of these have never been released out in print or to the press, correct?
No, that's right. I mean, I didn't take these pictures with the intention to publish them. In those days, words were much more important than pictures. Generally speaking, people looked to words for inspiration and for information and so on, and pictures were just a kind of decoration around the edges, and all that's turned upside down a bit now. The pictures actually turn out today to be at least as important as the words, and so it's a timely thing. It really does offer a completely new dimension to the journey, and I love it. I had to write a small book to go with these pictures because I wasn't able to use, as I originally intended, I wasn't able to use the text from Jupiter's Travels because it just didn't fit, and so in a way it was not just the pictures, but also having to rewrite the journey in a way, as a not as a different experience, but as another dimension of the same experience. I think it's lovely. I think it's a wonderful thing, and I'm so pleased that we got it done. And I'm hoping that people will realize what a really good accompaniment this is to the original Jupiter's Travels. The other great thing about it is that it happens to fall very nicely on this anniversary, and at the same time it offers a great opportunity for me to help this foundation that people have set up in my name, and I hope the book will help to promote that. But we also have a bunch of copies that are going to be sold as a benefit to the foundation, and I'm looking forward to doing that.
And the foundation is the Ted Simon Foundation, jupiterstravel.org, and we talked earlier with Iain Harper, the executive director of that. He gave us some information as well on it. The really cool thing that I find about your newest book is, even through Jupiter's Travel, the bestseller that you have out, the literary context that you put it in gave you an element of imagination, and you could picture it, but then you grasp on this, and like you were saying, it's this whole extra layer. So it almost is a second book, even though there is that overlap.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it's lovely. I mean, there are so many things you can do with an experience. You can write a book about it, as I did. You can do pictures about it. What's missing at the moment is an audio tape. I would love to do that. My voice never seems to be quite good enough when I think of sitting down and doing it. But I would really like to do that. And then there are already a couple of sort of vestigial films that I've made, but they're not really finished, and I'm hoping that somebody is going to come along and help me to do a better job with those. so you'd have the whole package then.
Yeah.
And I guess the experience of that first journey is solid enough to support all this kind of work and peripheral work around it. A lot of times things just don't have the gravity, to carry all that activity. But this book does seem to be able to do it. So I'm given up yet. I think there's more to come.
Definitely more to come. Thank you for being with us, Ted.